Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. Now tonight, I'm in the studio, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel studio, so you probably noticed the production quality is a little bit better. And appreciate everyone tuning in here. Go ahead and comment live if you can, share with others. If you're watching this at approximately 7:11 p.m. New York City time, that's right, 7:11 p.m. East Coast time in the United States of America, then this is a live show. So anything you choose to type, we can interact in real time. Also, want to remind everyone, don't forget to super chat if you choose to do so. It's a great way to support the channel. You can find that super chat icon down there in that little chat section. It's a little super chat icon. So deeply appreciated, and you know what happens if you choose to super chat, and it's sitting right over there. So, just a reminder there. Obviously no pressure to super chat, but it's cool if you do. So, yeah, just working on several things. Obviously, the studio is coming together nicely. I think I've finally found the equipment. I mean, Rode and Blackmagic Design. You pair those two puppies, you get great audio, you get great video, and then top that off with a Sony Alpha camera with G Master lens. And I think that's kind of the sweet spot for the live stream. Now, I've had a lot of questions. A lot of y'all. Several people, actually several churches have asked, how do I live stream for my church? And I've been trying to respond to those questions. Any questions you have, again, I strongly encourage you, send me a message. I'll be more than happy to try to respond. And if it's something that, I could film a video and respond in the form of a video, that's even, more super cool. So, keep those questions coming. Had a lot of GoPro questions, without a doubt, a ton of DJI Air 2S questions. Curiously enough, though, and I don't know what y'all think about this, Chris, hi from Tallahassee, Florida, man. That's a great place. I love Florida. Yes, I do. Yes, Florida's great. Welcome aboard, Chris. Good to have you. But yeah, GoPro questions, tons of GoPro questions. Anything you want to know, just ask. And I'll try my best to respond with a video. Always looking for video ideas. It goes without mentioning this is an independent YouTube channel. I created this several years ago. It's independent, but I don't have a big marketing budget. I'm not part of a multi-channel network. Nothing wrong with channels that are, but what you see here is 100% independent. So it's your viewership and your support that enables this channel to continue to grow. It is what it is. So got a lot of cool things coming. Obviously, travel right now is difficult because I don't want to go in an airport and get a stick shoved up my nose, up to my eyes or whatever. I just don't want to deal with that. So, with that being the case, there's all kinds of other things, and that's in the area of home gyms. I've been trying to work out more. I work out every day, but I just eat so much stuff, man. But I'm trying to be more selective about the good stuff that I eat. Obviously, cutting out sugar. Something that's really cool, if you haven't checked it out, is, it's been around for a while, sparkling seltzers. You can get the carbonation. And if you get the ones that don't have the, the added sugars or any of the unnatural ingredients, if you just get a basic sparkling water, which is just water with carbonation, and then add some fresh fruit, not fruit juice, but just a few squeezes of lemon or lime or whatever. Maybe put a cucumber or something in there. You can make some good tasting water that's not just water. But as far as from a health perspective, it doesn't have all that sugar and high fructose corn syrup and all that stuff that you get in juices and sodas and all that. Yep. Getting ready to grill some burgers, man. I got some burgers. I got some steak burgers, and going to load them up with cheese. Going to load them up with mustard and ketchup and just a little bit of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise can be pretty bad if you go overboard with it. So, but there's no reason to not cook well and eat well. I mean, that's just a wasted life, dude. I mean, people that just diet and that's all they do, that's no fun. There's a balancing act for everything. So, keep that in mind. But, the drone industry, man, it's kind of gotten weird. it's really gotten weird. Actually, one of the things I noticed, and I don't know if any of y'all are aware of this, but DJI, arguably the best drone manufacturer in the world, just because, I mean, come on, who makes a drone that's better than a DJI drone? I wish somebody did, but I don't think they do. But I don't want to spread false rumors, but it almost appears as if DJI may be about to discontinue their affiliate program. So with that being the case, obviously, being an independent YouTube channel, being able to, if y'all choose to buy drones through my website, IrixGuy.com, EpicDroneShow.com, go there, click buy a drone. Historically, I would route that to my DJI affiliate link. So, I'd earn credits and I'd be able to get drones and this, that, and the other. But it seems that DJI may be discontinuing that. But don't worry. And I want to remind everyone this. You still go to EpicDroneShow.com, click buy a drone, IrixGuy.com, click buy a drone. What I've done is I've taken all those links and I've rerouted them to Amazon. DJI's got a store now. And you can find that. Just go to my website and it'll link right to it. So you can still choose to support IrixGuy's Adventure Channel by shopping my website when you're shopping for drones, drone accessories, cameras, all of that. But it's just, a lot of the drone links now will not be going to, to my DJI. They'll be just going to a different link. But it's interesting, and I don't know what's driven that, the perceived end of the DJI affiliate program. I don't know, and this is something I don't have direct visibility to. I mean, are drone sales suffering? Is this hobby? Is it starting to become so cumbersome that people are, becoming less willing to want to go out and buy the latest and greatest drone? I mean, it's one of those things that kind of makes you wonder, makes you guess what's going on. And, anytime I see change like that, I question, well, why? Why is this happening? And again, it's, I just had to pivot a little bit there and go over to, adjust my website and redirect to different affiliate links. But it's still interesting that DJI affiliate appears to be discontinuing their affiliate program. And again, the way they worded it is more of a, it might be temporary, but who in the world is going to temporarily do away with an affiliate program? I mean, that sounds like a nail in the coffin to me. I may be wrong. Again, tell me what you think. But yeah, that's interesting. Obviously, Apple, man, the new Apple Imac 24-inch with Apple Silicon. The Apple Imac M1, super nice. And a lot of people are like, well, dude, why do I need the iMac M1? The Mac Mini is the same CPU. The MacBook Air M1 is the same CPU. The MacBook Pro 13-inch M1 is the same CPU. The Apple M1, which is Apple Silicon processor. That's a very true statement. What the Mac Mini does not have is a monitor, right? You bring your own monitor. You can get some pretty good monitors. But I've got a really good monitor over there, the LG. Check out my video. I'm about to post it on my channel. But the comparison of video quality, well, not just video quality, but just display quality of a very nice LG IPS display versus a 24-inch iMac 4.5K display. I mean, the difference is night and day. And the brightness on the iMac's display, you can crank it up so much more. The details is so much more detail rich. Check out my video that I'm going to post, and you can see all the details. I've got the exact same desktop wallpaper, a picture that I took on Jost Van Dyke in the British Virgin Islands. Really cool picture. You got water, you got clouds, you got boats, you got palm trees, sand, all of that. And you can really discern the differences between a very nice LG monitor and the 24-inch iMac's display. So, keep in mind, if you choose to get, if you're going to Apple Silicon, which I encourage everyone to do, it's so much better than Intel, especially with the laptops, because it's more energy efficient and it doesn't get as hot. I mean, this thing right here, man, I've got on my desk right here the MacBook Air M1 in gold. The rumor is they're about to be coming out with Apple laptops that have the colors. Mark says, so handsome. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for coming aboard. Thanks for the kind words. And on that note, I remind everyone, please feel free to super chat. And you can super chat. There's that icon down there. It says super chat. or it may not say super chat. It may just look like a little dollar sign, and you can choose to support the channel. Deeply appreciated. You know, it helps to support the continued growth of IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. So we've got a bunch of good stuff coming. The you know, again, the iMac. If you don't have an Apple Silicon Mac, if you don't have, you know, an Apple M1 Mac yet, and you're trying to choose among Apple iMac M1, Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch M1, Apple MacBook Air M1, or if you just want to wait, maybe you're waiting for an M2 or an M1X or whatever they may call it. If you're going to get one now, I would definitely go with the iMac just for the display alone. Sure, they all share the same processor, but if you don't need portability, you know, go with the iMac M1. That display will blow your mind, especially if you're big into photography, videography. If you're like me, you use Lightroom. You know, you want to make your photos, you're professionally snapped, or I shouldn't say snap because that sounds lazy and fast and cheap, but your professionally captured photos, those professionally captured works of art. You know, you can run them through Lightroom, and you can use the iMac 24-inch monitor and really dial in, you know, edit those raw images, make them look exceptional. You know, that's the difference between an already great-looking photo and an exceptionally professional photo. And to be able to use a monitor where you can see those color differences as you're making those, as you're applying those color differences within Lightroom, that makes it so much worthwhile. And sure, it's 24 inches. Rumor is there may be a bigger iMac coming, an iMac with a bigger screen. But I'm looking at my iMac 24-inch M1 over there right now. I got purple because it looks cool, man. It's a dark purple on the back. It's a light purple on the front. Just looks really good. So I'm looking at that, and I've got my LG monitor beside it. It's actually the LG monitor right now while I'm doing this live stream of the ATEM Mini Pro from Blackmagic Design. That's how I can see my chroma key and all that's going. So really cool equipment, man. I mean, you know, it's like anything else. When you get into this live streaming, not just YouTube, but when you get into live streaming, you don't have to do anything. But it's probably in your best interest to, you know, question, you know, how can I make my audio better? How can I make my video better? Well, there's lighting. There's, you know, and these lights I have, these Godox, they're called Godox light panels. These Godox light panels, they don't get hot, man. You know, in the past, when I was using lights in my studio, you know, I'd get hot. Mike says, "Hey, Irish guy, how are you?" Mike, I'm doing great. How are you doing, sir? Welcome aboard. Always good to have you, man. Cheers. Yes, sir. So, I was eating some fruit earlier, and I got fruit in my teeth. That's not good. Got some fresh peaches from Georgia in the United States of America. Got some fresh peaches. Those things are good, man. But, yeah, just a bunch of stuff brewing, you know, as usual. You know, trying to make the production quality even better. Something I am working on. Mike says, doing great, thanks. Oops. I meant to do the cheer. I didn't mean to do that first sound effect. Got my little soundboard down here, man. Yeah, so just, you know, doing a live stream. I got some steak burgers, man. I gotta get those puppies out and put, you know, got them in the casserole dish marinating. I've got my hickory chips waiting. Those hickory chips are in the smoker box, and when I get that charcoal going, I will put that smoker box on top of the hot charcoal, and then that hickory smoke will start to come out of the smoker box. And that, combined with the charcoal and the kettle-style grill, will create the perfect steak burger. So I'm excited about that. So that's in progress. Well, the marination's in progress. I haven't thrown them on the grill yet because that's, you know, you want to. Here's the thing, and a lot of people want to let their burgers marinate for a few hours. Some people like to let their burgers marinate overnight. Honestly, I think a few hours is fine. You know, that's enough to get the flavor profile that you want from the marinade, but not too long to where it overpowers the flavor of the excellent meat. Because, you know, you're using good meat, you know, you don't want to overpower the flavor of that exceptional meat with seasoning. You just kind of want to accentuate the flavor of the meat. That's the marination. That's the hickory smoke. And then create the good visual, when you got the good grill marks on that burger. Just the perfect texture, the perfect degree of doneness. And then finally, the perfect presentation, because when you put that burger on the plate, you need to have a toasted bun. And in my opinion, toasting a bun is not enough. You need to put a little bit of butter on that bun. You need to butter up that bun, put a little bit of garlic salt, slap that on the grill with the butter, get it good buttery and kind of semi-crispy, that hamburger bun. If you really want to get fancy, you can get a hamburger bun with the sesame seeds on it. It'd be really fancy. Mike said, Adam says, holding any crypto, Irix? A lot of people ask me that, and I know a lot of big-time cryptocurrency players, and I never got into it. And I think the reason was, and I want to preface this is for entertainment purposes only. This should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing these comments for entertainment purposes only. With that being said, yeah, cryptocurrency, I never got interested in it. I never became interested in it. And I think the biggest thing was the ease of exit. With a penny stock, and I love penny stocks. Penny stocks are high risk, but I have a reasonable degree of confidence that I can probably exit quickly. Now, obviously, with a penny stock on the over-the-counter bulletin boards, they move very rapidly. So a few seconds potentially could be it could bankrupt you. You could lose it all in a few seconds. I mean, they move very rapidly when there's a lot of volume coming through. And there's a lot of people that make a lot of money because of that rapid volume. But, at least with a penny stock, I have a reasonable degree of certainty that I may be able to exit for a small loss quickly if needed. With the crypto, in my opinion, and tell me what you think. Y'all all tell me what you think. With the cryptocurrency, my fear is that, that it's not as regulated as stock market, stock exchanges, and the ability to exit quickly is probably sometimes cumbersome. And granted, I missed the bus. If I'd seen this many years ago, when Bitcoin was around a few bucks and you could still mine for cryptocurrency at home, then I would have repurposed some Linux machines that I have, and I would have mined for cryptocurrency, and I'd be a multi-billionaire today. But I didn't see that coming. And a lot of people are like, dude, you haven't missed the bus yet. There's still time. Get in early. A lot of people think it's still early. My philosophy, and it may be incorrect, it may be correct, who knows, is that people become emotionally attached to the hustle. Whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's trading stocks, people become emotionally attached. And typically people that become emotionally attached to any sort of activity, especially where it's speculative investing, crypto, penny stocks, high risk investments. When people become emotionally involved with that, they tend to have the fear of letting go. Because they're like, well, I did this, but what if I just wait? Why should I cash out now? This, that, and the other. They develop this sensation of machoism, and they think that nothing can beat them up. They're going to win. Adam says, not as regulated is true, but it's very easy to remove funds now. Yeah, and I don't know, man. Honestly, I've got so many kettles in the fire, so many business ventures that I run, that it's been hard for me to take it. That's probably why I didn't really get into it. I was afraid of the lack of regulation, but I was also afraid of the time commitment that it would take to educate myself to where I felt that it was enough education to be profitable with it. With penny stocks, I know what to do. And again, I lose big. I win big sometimes with that. But I've been trading stocks since the 1990s. I'm a big stock market dude. So, I've been doing that for a while, and I feel with that I can perform well. Historically, I could take, and again, you never know what's going to happen. I always expect to lose it all, but historically, I could take a few $100 and easily turn that, $200-300 into $20,000-$30,000. It's not that hard to do. And that's why I was like, well, why do I want to branch out, and maybe I should have. Part of me feels like I missed the bus, and Adam says, respect your opinion. No, dude, I respect the question, and it's one of those things. It's a lot of people saw it coming. A lot of people, even if they didn't know what it was going to do, they convinced themselves it was going to become something profitable. And a lot of people got in early and then chose to exit, convert those cryptos into dollars. They probably did quite well. But there's the other camp of people that they've ridden it up, they've ridden it back down, and they're so emotionally attached they can't let go of it. And a lot of people think that, they can't let go because they're not just emotionally attached to the crypto, but they're emotionally attached to the concept of it becoming the future currency, And I believe we're about to experience rapid inflation. Basically the paper dollar is going to become less and less valuable. Today, someone that's made $1 million, they're just an average Joe. $1 million in the past, it's like, whoa, that's a millionaire. Now if you want to be what a millionaire was back then, you've probably got to have at least, I would say, $8, $12, $15 million to be, to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I did all right. It's just, inflation is a wicked thing. Inflation is a wicked animal, and inflation is going to, going to continue to devalue the paper dollar. But I think there's a lot, and again, none of this, as I prefaced earlier, none of this is investment advice, but there's a lot of other speculative investment vehicles that people can, entertain themselves with. I do it for fun. I do penny stocks for fun. I always expect to lose it all. But there's other things that people can get involved with that, it's not crypto, it's not penny stocks. There's real estate. Real estate's more of a traditional investment type activity, a form of passive income. But, there's, let's see, Mike says, I've never marinated a burger. Any marinade you recommend? Yeah, man. Now, depending upon how well you tolerate salt, there's a marinade. You can get it in a lot of grocery stores. It's called Dale's, Dales marinade. Look it up. If you don't have it in your grocery store, look it up online. It's black. It's kind of a black color. Kind of looks like a Worcestershire, except it's got a lot of salt in it. But the flavor, and again, use it sparingly. Use a little bit the first time, because if you go overboard, it's going to be extremely salty. And you may even want to dilute it with a little bit of water. But marinate your burgers in that in a tightly covered dish, airtight dish overnight in your refrigerator. They'll be the best burgers you've ever eaten. And if you want to add a little bit more, you don't need to add any more salt, because Dale's marinade is very salty. It's a liquid marinade. But you could add some freshly chopped garlic or just garlic powder. I wouldn't do garlic salt. And, either some fresh onion or, some onions that you get, the little onion in the spice section. And that'll create a really good burger marinade. And, yeah, man, burgers, oh, man, it's such a simple piece of meat. But if you get good quality burger, just slapping that on a bun, get you a fresh tomato, a fresh onion, some cheese, melt that cheese on there. If you really want to get fancy, cook an onion on the grill, wrap it in aluminum foil, put some butter on top, put some of that Dale's marinade on that onion, hollow the onion out just a little bit, and stick a beef bouillon cube inside of the onion, and then put some butter on top of it. Tell me what you think about that. Some good stuff, man. But yeah, that's the whole thing, Adam. I think, with crypto, yeah, there's a lot of new crypto millionaires, and there's a lot of them that were millionaire a few weeks ago and they blew it all. They went out and got the Lambo and the Ferrari and all that stuff, and then they realized, ooh, man, I don't have any more cryptocurrency. So, but it's yeah, it is interesting. But yeah, there's so many ways, there's so many entertaining things in this world today. But my best advice for people is just to check out YouTube, man. YouTube is such an opportunity. If you choose to just start out small, start out with your camera phone, your smartphone, whatever. Don't invest a bunch of money into it. But create a channel, pursue things that you enjoy, and see where it takes you. Because honestly, YouTube is an adventure. It's an adventure that I wish I had discovered this when YouTube first came out, because YouTube was owned by some other individuals before Google acquired it. And of course, Google's turned it into this big career opportunity. So it's really cool. And I mean YouTube, and again, I haven't gotten into a lot of the other social media networks. I use Facebook casually. Facebook, man, just the way they run that platform, it irritates me. And there's no way that I've found on Facebook to effectively, let me preface that with the word effectively. There's no way on Facebook I found to effectively monetize my content. So there's really no reason for me to use Facebook. The same goes for Instagram. Yeah, I'll post photos. I'll grill those burgers and I'll post a photo and a video and, whatever. But it's, it is what it is. Adam says, going to switch it up. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk? He's that Tesla dude wanting to populate Mars. Where do you see us in 10, 20, 50 years? Well, if this economy continues to collapse, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be wanting to get the heck out of Dodge. And, what better way to do that than to go to Mars? People that have the means and, people that are younger. I mean, obviously, if you're getting old and you're just going to die, and there's probably no point. I mean, what are you going to do? Go up in a spaceship and stay in this little, tiny little aircraft for a few years while you get to Mars and you just die, maybe on the way? So for younger people, I think, I think going to Mars and populating Mars could be a good thing. It's kind of like, I think what I would encourage people to do first is go somewhere like Arizona. Go out in the desert and see how you like that. If you don't like that, you probably don't want to board that spaceship to Mars, because you're probably going to be disappointed. It's, I think it's a very, what would be the word for it? Ambitious. It's a very ambitious goal to populate Mars. But I think if anybody could spearhead that business venture, I think Elon Musk should do it. I mean, that dude's smart. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if I was out and I saw Elon Musk, I'd buy him a Natty Light. Just like, hey man, let's talk about something. Cool dude. I think if anybody can do it, I think he could do it. I really do. But, just looking at, resources are finite. We don't have infinite resources. Resources are going to run out soon. Resources are everything, it's everything from water to oxygen. I mean, plants help to create oxygen, but I mean, there's so many things that are going to go wrong with this earth beyond politics. And, once we start to run out of resources, going somewhere else is going to be super important. Now, the thing is Mars really that inhabitable? I mean, is it going to support human life? I mean, obviously you'd have to take a bunch of stuff there. I can see Elon Musk's team in the future creating oxygen generators and some, these nurseries that would grow plants on the way to the trip to Mars and this, that, and the other. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for brilliant people not create, but to move. So think about this, you're going to put grass in your yard, right? So what do? You probably go to a sod farm and you probably buy sod. And then you transplant that grass to your yard, and within a few months, you've got a perfect looking lawn, potentially. So this is kind of the same thing. They'd take like grass, and they'd take trees, and they'd take farm animals, and they'd take them to Mars, and they'd create an environment that enables those animals to live and, feed everybody there. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be, really cool. I don't know, man. I mean, do you think, I mean, what if somebody said, hey man, what if Elon Musk came to your door and he's like, hey man, I got this new spaceship I built. And it's like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, you run SpaceX, don't you? And then he said, yeah, you want to try it out? I'll take you to Mars. We'll get there in a year and a half. Would you do it? If he he probably couldn't guarantee you because they've probably never been to Mars. But if Elon Musk came to your doorstep and said he'd land you on Mars in a year and a half, would you do it? Why would you do it, or why wouldn't you do it? Interesting question. Super duper interessante. Interessante. Okay, let's switch to Italian. Let's see, what am I going to say here? Let's look this up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This will be in, let's see. Andresse su Marte se Elon Musk ti invitassi. Would you go to Mars if Elon Musk invited you? That's the question in Italian. Not a chance unless there was a two-way trip. No, it'd just be one way. He'd say, yeah, I'll get you there. And, it's like you sign all that stuff. You basically sign your life away. And then you get to the fine print. And the fine print's like in very small font, but in red, so it's there. And it says, this is a one-way ticket. So basically they just take you there. And they just drop you off beside what's the little robot that landed on Mars? Not Voyager, but whatever the thing is that's on Curiosity rover. They just dump you out right there, and there you are with this rover that's got a dead battery, and you've got to count your minutes, man. That's it. There's no way back. That's a good question, though. Yeah, you could not. Yeah, you probably would not want a one-way trip to Mars. That would probably be a disappointment. But on a side note, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I will pass. Thanks, Elon. Yes, sir. What if... let's think of another situation. What if... I'm trying to think of something crazy. Well, what if they said they take you to the moon? If he came to you and he said, hey, man, well, I know you're not interested in Mars, but, what if I took you to the moon and you got a round trip? But the fine print read that, it's a round-trip flight to the moon, but it would be like, survival shows you see on the popular TV networks. It'd be like one of those where they'd drop you off, and you'd have to survive, 3 days on the moon without food or water. But you would be guaranteed a trip back. Would you do that? Oh, and you'd only get to pick one survival item. So when you got out of the lunar lander, you'd only have one survival item, and that's it. Would you accept that challenge? Okay, interesting stuff, man. I tell you what's even more interesting, man. I got to get those burgers going, dude. Got to get my burgers grilling. Burgers are important. It's always good to have a just a homemade juicy burger. You can't go anywhere now, man. You can't go anywhere to. Adam says that sounds like fun as long as they provide solid insurance. Think about that though. if they provided solid insurance, if you had to be out there for a few days and you got to choose one survival item, so basically you're on the moon. There's probably nothing on the moon, although there are people that believe there is a base. There's a lunar base, a base on the moon. And actually Google that. You know, you'll be surprised at what you might find if you search for the base on the moon, the lunar base. It's actually pretty interesting stuff. Also, what's underneath the Denver airport? Research the Denver airport conspiracy. That's some really interesting stuff. And some more basic stuff. If you want to research Janet, Janet Airlines. Janet Airlines flies out of Vegas, allegedly. It's just another non-existent terminal. Allegedly, it shuttles employees from Las Vegas to Area 51, Groom Lake. So that's another interesting thing to research if you're looking for that sort of stuff. I mean, if you're interested in that sort of stuff. But let's see, what else do we have? I gotta. Cheap. Hold on, I gotta grab something here. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Adam says, I love a conspiracy theory. Yep, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a great conspiracy theory. The thing that's so cool about it, I mean, people, a lot of people are quick to say, oh, man, that's just, that's nonsense, this, that, and the other. But there's some pretty interesting stuff out there. And there's another one. And this isn't as common as like Denver airport conspiracy and that sort of stuff. But if you search for DROPA, D-R-O-P-A, the DROPA people, search for that. See where that search leads you. Now that's pretty wild stuff. Again, the DROPA, D-R-O-P-A, DROPA people. That's an interesting thing to research. It's just like blazing hot, man. It's like 90 degrees. It's blazing hot. It is crazy. Oh, me. Well, I've got to fire up those burgers. And appreciate everyone tuning in. Thanks for the support. Share this video and any of my videos with others. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/IrixGuy. Y'all have a good day.